السلام عليكم. الو الو.
كيف حالك؟
الحمد لله تمام. اخبارك؟ Are you ready? Okay, introduce myself. I'm ElGanzory, .NET developer and mobile application developer, Ethereum developer, and senior instructor at ElGanzory. I will learn inshallah how to build mobile application on different operating systems like iOS and Android and Windows Phone, BlackBerry with single code. Summary of my course, our course, how to develop mobile applications using JavaScript on iOS and Android and BlackBerry. Our course will focus on Android and iOS. Okay, let's display our outlines of my course. My course contains 11 modules. Each module we going display our the details of each module. The first module we talk about introduction, zero app. We talk about introduction to Titanium. What's Titanium? I will ask one question. If I want to develop the same application, same mobile application on different operating systems like iOS, Android, and BlackBerry and Windows Phone, what I need? If I want to develop a same mobile application on different operating systems like iOS, Android, BlackBerry, and Windows Phone, what I can need? Can anybody here answer?
We need an IDE.
Okay.
That may compare the code.
I talk about different operating systems.
So we need general or
common code.
What's common code?
Code something similar between all these.
I talk about the different operating system. I don't talk about here now about cross-platform or single code. I answer when answer for operating different operating system.
Platform.
What's platform? Okay, if I want to develop mobile application on Android, I need to have knowledge about Java programming language to develop a mobile application on operating system like Android. If I want to develop mobile application on iOS, I want to learn Objective-C to develop application on iOS. If I want to develop mobile application on Windows Phone, I want to learn .NET or C# to develop mobile applications on Windows Phone or Windows Store. It's called Windows 8. If I want to develop mobile application on BlackBerry, I want to learn JavaScript and CSS3 and HTML5. I want to know 4 different languages to develop different same mobile application on different operating systems. Okay, that's my answer of Titanium. Titanium is a platform that I can let's create, run, and package native mobile applications with single code. I can run the application, create single code base, and run on different operating system. That's me. That's my ID, Titanium, and when Sharhman display description of my Titanium and Sharhman today, we will make the first application on different operating system. We focus on iOS and Android. Okay. We'll talk about in the first module about Titanium API. Like .NET, I have many namespaces or TDL files. Like SQL client, I can access the SQL Server database or Oracle database. Anytime I have set of APIs. APIs stands for Application Program Interface. I have many of those like libraries. These libraries I can use to create user interface or access networks. I have many libraries. Any libraries in Titanium start with TI or Titanium dot. For user interface, I can have Titanium.TI. For access any web service or anything on network, I have Titanium.network. Okay, we'll talk about what's modules. Modules like data access or class library in C# or .NET Visual Studio. I can generate DDL files to get access can access or add reference in any project. Like 8 modules in Titanium, I can create a library. I can use it in another project or can upload on internet called Marketplace for Accelerator Titanium. I can use it on in a public for any pub can use it or can with free or with paid money. I can make modules library, upload it on marketplace of Titanium. Anybody can use it, or I can with free, and I can set it with paid money. Can anyone purchase it? Okay. Second module we talk about if you are native application developers, what I can use. If I are native application, what's mean of native? Native, I can, if I want to go to develop mobile application like Android, I want to use Java main programming language to develop Android projects and go to the Android Studio or Eclipse to develop mobile application. Like iOS, if I want to develop iOS application, I can go to Xcode ID to develop mobile application on Apple. I want to talk about the architecture of Android and architecture of iOS. We can develop mobile application on iOS, on Android. If I can use the Android Studio or Xcode, what I can do in smooth when we talk about the architecture of iOS and Android. Third module to cross-platform. Here we can talk about Titanium. Details about all cores, Titanium, and the installation of Titanium. Prerequisites for Titanium, what I can do to installation of Titanium on my PC. I have many operating systems like Windows, Linux, OS X for Apple. What I can use in this module to start to develop different operating systems. Module 4, we talk about user interface and the fundamentals. Like ASP.NET or Windows Form in C#, I have many user controls. I have user controls like buttons, like text box, like still view or delete view. I will talk about focus on mobile controls, like scroll view. I can touch on screen and move right and move left, change my window. I will talk about the table view, list view, most common controls for mobile. We talk about free module 5, working with local data. How can I store data on my mobile? Like SQL Server, I store data for database for retrieving or insert or update data. This data, what I can do to insert or store data on my mobile. I have 3 ways to store data on mobile. The first thing, properties. I can store data in key and values. Like WhatsApp, it's my profile. I can store my profile on my mobile. How can I store this data? I can first thing to store my data. I have properties. Properties store my data in key and value. When I want to retrieve this data, I can use this key. Second, we talk about SQLite. عليكم السلام ورحمة الله. SQLite is like SQL Server. If I want to store data in database or I can use a query like SQL Server, same. I can have simple database like SQLite. I can store the data in my file with database. I can use insert query. I can, if we want to retrieve data, I can use select a query. Third thing, we can deal with file system, file with extension .xml or text. Module 6, we talk about working with media, how to play video and audio, and how can record video or audio. We talk about working with smooth data. This is the main concept of my course, or the main target of my course, how to access the backend. How can develop a web service like SMX or generic handler and consume this service and front end. When I talk about front end, I talk on my mobile applications, how to make web service like .NET or Java. How can access this web service to display data in my mobile. Location service. Almost of people have smart mobiles. I can always use the features of smart mobile to get the location of the user or get the location of my company. How to can measure the routes. I can measure this distance between my home or my company. Okay, we modules integrate contacts and social API. How to integrate my contacts like Facebook or social network, LinkedIn. In my contacts to search, I can get anybody from my contacts. I don't know what the website to search about somebody. No, I want to integrate all the contacts of social like LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram in my contacts application on my file and search in it. Okay, integrate web content. How to integrate any web content like website? I want to put div or HTML5 or in my mobile applications. I have control called web view. Web view it's take for a pass as parameter HTML file. I can display it in my mobile. We talk about in deployment and distributions. How can deployment the application on my mobile? I have two ways to deployment and distributions app on my mobile. The first thing to deploy my applications local on my mobile. I want to distribute my application on public on Play Store or iTunes Store or Apple Store. To can any user access application and install it on our mobile. I have two ways to install my application. We learn in this module how to install these applications that I can develop in my mobile that's local, or can publish it or distribute it on Play Store or Apple Store. To can anybody access it and install it on my mobile. In last module, we talk about how to debug and test my applications in Titanium ID. Any question? Any question? I talk fastly, right? Let's do my voice or I voice. Let's do the letters. Any question? Any questions? Can go to the first module. First module, we talk about zero to app. What's zero to app? We talk about what's Titanium. Titanium platform allows you to create and run and package and need mobile application for iOS, Android, and BlackBerry device using our cross-platform using one language, JavaScript. You need to have basic simple knowledge about JavaScript to create mobile application, native mobile applications. If you want to develop my application on Android, you can use JavaScript. If you want to develop my applications on iOS, you can use JavaScript. With JavaScript, I can develop mobile application on different operating systems like iOS and Android. Okay. This feature of Titanium accelerators. Our first feature can do single copy paste to multi-platform. Agreement we can use JavaScript to develop mobile applications like iOS, Android with single copy paste like JavaScript. We write them only JavaScript and HTML and CSS to develop my applications. JavaScript, you can use your skill in JavaScript. Have simple knowledge about JavaScript to develop mobile applications. Code development, it's mean I can use a single code base to develop mobile different operating system like Windows Phone or BlackBerry. Integrate ID. Like Visual Studio, I can use Visual Studio to develop Windows 4 or WF4. Visual Studio has many templates like SP.NET, SP.NET MVC, and Windows 4 and WF4. Titanium Accelerator has many templates to develop mobile applications like single window application and tabbed applications and allo application. If you can use MVC better model view controller like SPMVC, I can use Titanium Studio to develop mobile applications. Like Visual Studio have many .NET from .NET framework versions. Titanium Accelerators has many SDK. We can talk about the last SDK 3.4. We talk about what is SDK in this module. What's Titanium SDK? Titanium SDK Titanium sticky tools complete set of Node.js. What's Node.js? Node.js is the first thing we can use in Titanium. Node.js that provide me made of templates to develop mobile applications like tabbed applications or single window application or master and details application. We can open Titanium Studio and will display the templates in Titanium Studio. The first thing to use to develop mobile application, we can install Node.js. Node.js that provide me many of templates to can develop mobile applications. What's Titanium API? .NET has many namespace for DDL files. I can has many API. API stands for Application Program Interface. I can use many of libraries to create mobile applications. The first library we can use Titanium UI for create controls, or can use a library like Titanium.NET Word for access in web service. I can make it. Titanium Studio. We can use Titanium Studio ID integrate development. We can use Studio to write and test and debug your mobile applications like .NET. I have Visual Studio to debug and test my application that I do. Which the application ASP.NET application or wins for applications. The Titanium Studio I can use to develop a different operating system or mobile application on different operating system. What can modules? What's modules? Modules like DDL files. I can generate DDL files with class library in .NET. I can create modules for consuming in another project or can use in another project. I can create modules for anybody or on the world to access it and upload in a marketplace of Titanium. We will see and display the marketplace of Titanium. I can create modules. When I can create modules, I can create with free and with paid money. The modules like DDL files, I can add reference and use the functionality or classes in my modules. In modules here, we can create classes with JavaScript or function with JavaScript and can use in another project. I have two websites to get pre-used or reused modules like GitHub Repository and the Titanium Plus. It is a famous or most popular websites that have already modules. I can download it and use it in my code like Facebook modules or like Google Maps modules or like iOS Market modules. I can use directly without I can write any line code. What's mean Accelerator Cloud Service or can have shortcut ACS? What's ACS? What's ACS? ACS like push notifications. Have many services or cloud services like push notification. What's push notifications? In use social network, we can have post. All friends on your contacts have seen this post. What can I do to make one post and all my friends to see this post? I have the technology called push notification. Push notification, I can send message and see this message anybody or person have in my contacts can see it. How can I do it? It's found in Accelerator Cloud Service or the most famous website that can do it. It's part.com. Part.com is push notification, free push notifications. Titanium will provide me Accelerator Cloud Service with money, with paid money. If I can use the free things for push notifications, I can have most popular site for push notifications. It's parse.com. Okay, what's the feature of my platform? The first feature for platform, it's native UI component. What's mean of native UI component? If I want to access any hardwares in smart mobiles or softwares in different operating systems, like I want to create service like straight in .NET and Android, I can use it. I can use it with native UI for controls. If I want to access any controls like menu, and Android has a menu, then menu buttons. If I want to create menu when I click many buttons, we can do it with Titanium. I can have library for UI Titanium.ui to create controls like Titanium.ui. It's the most popular library to use to create controls. If I want to access any controls for different operating system like with Android, I can use it. Like if I want to make navigation window in iOS, I went back right to the Windows, I can use native UI components. Native UI components, if I want to create menu like in Android or back buttons for Android, I can access it with native UI component. Location API, I have modules already can use it. I can add it in my Titanium. I will learn you, inshallah, how to add modules like Facebook. It's already installed and the native API installed. I can use it with its functionality. SQLite, we can use query to install to insert data or update or delete or retrieve data in my database, but it's installed locally on my mobile. Audio and video, we can play audio and video or record audio and video. Social API and Facebook and Twitter, how you can share posts, how you can share photo, how you can make comments from my mobiles. Cloud service, we will agreement how to use Accelerator cloud service like push notifications. It's push already. Already I can use it. I have two cloud service for push notifications. The first push notifications, it's Accelerator cloud service. It's paid money. If I want to use free push notifications, as I have the parse.com, it's provide me free push notifications. If I want, inshallah, we will display the difference between Accelerator Cloud Service and parse.com. This script, we will show how to develop mobile applications with HTML and CSS and JavaScript. With JavaScript, hold one single file that generate two different mobile applications for iOS and Android. To develop the mobile applications for iOS and Android, we must install the SDK for iOS and Android. We will learn, inshallah, how to install the SDK or Titanium SDK to develop the native mobile applications for iOS and Android. If you want many resources to learn mobile application or to learn Titanium accelerators, the first website we will go and we show the documentation of my websites. It's accelerator.com. If you want to know how to create web service or consume service, how to consume local data or create local data like properties like SQLite, like file system, the first website we can talk about is accelerator.com or titanium.plus. Or GitHub has code I can download and install it. Okay. Sorry. The first thing to develop application, we start to develop application, we can use the JavaScript library for UI. It's library you can use to develop applications. Any controls for file like buttons, like text, like checkboxes, like scroll view, like table view. These controls we can deal with this and create with applications. Network, we can use the library for network to consume web service. Like web service that return JSON, return XML, SOAP service, I can use the library for titanium.network. time network for to consuming any web service. I can use it. Map, I can have two ways to develop maps: native maps or hybrid maps. Hybrid maps, I can do one map and run this map on iOS or Android. But the hybrid map is deprecated. The new map, to create new map on Android or iOS, I can use native map. I will learn you, Sharman, how to create native map and how to register on Google or iOS Market to develop the maps on the different operating systems. That's the main code for develop first window and applications. It is I can use. I'll talk about ti.ui. The first slide we can deal with it. It's titanium or equal to ti.ui for create the first window or first like of form. So the website or ASP.NET has at least one web form. That's web form. I can divide it with divs. The mobile application the at least must contain one window. To create window, you can use a library ti.ui.create window, and it can has many properties. Like I get a title for display title for my window. I can has property title. As title I can set with string data. I can say do anything, browse vehicles, or I can when I can do open my window, I can call the objects main list dot open. That's the code when Rahman use it for create the first window in my applications. The most common web API or API you can use it ti.ui. Okay. We will develop small publications with native Android operating system like Android Studio. I will make with simple applications for how to do the first publications with Android Studio. I will learn you if you are native application developer, what can you use. First we start with Android operating system. What's Android? What's Android? What's Android?
It's a framework open source.
Operating system.
Operating system. Okay. Yes. Android. It's open source operating system. When I can want to develop mobile application on Android operating system, I can use Java programming language to make mobile applications or on mobiles, tablets. Any device can support Android operating system. That's main concept of mobile applications. I can use user interface or hardware buttons or screen size and turn size. I can have in applications most common controls in mobile applications like tab bar. Tab bar when you click. When you can click any icons of tab bars, it can display a new window. When can click on icons, contacts can display contacts, and when can put logs can display logs. And when can click on any tabs on this window can display a new window. A table view like list view or grid view in ASP.NET. When can you click, it contains set of rows. When you can click any rows, it can display a new window or details this row. I can have the title bar for window. I can have notification bar, like any social network, and when can anybody send message or send anything. We can display at the top of the window. When click the buttons can display the details of this message. I can have buttons. Okay, we can in display controls in Android applications. The main component or the main feature that's in Android, the first thing contains activity. What's activity? Activity is the single user interface. Contains or it's like container for all controls. When you need to add controls to mobile applications, the first thing to sort it and it can create an activity. But when I call on Android, activity is single user interface like window or like web form. You can when you add controls, the first thing to think it you can add an activity. The activity it is the main component to add main controls. And when you divide this activity to main part, we can divide the activity with a view. We can talk about what's view and what's activity, how to create activity and how to create a view. What's service? Service it's like activity but without user interface. Like a thread, it's run in background. Like thread, it's like run in background. Like when you can play or can operate many programs on mobiles like Google Chrome or like audio. When you can the application run on backgrounds or can display the first window and the audio in the back end, the audio it's already played. Why? Why? Because I can make it service. Service like a thread. I can pass it as applications. This application the service it's the main component for run these applications. We will talk about how to use as a titanium encapsulator, how to create or access native mobile application for Android, and how to create service. Service is like a thread. Okay, what's intent? Intent I can use in Android to move between windows. When I want to go from window 1 to window 2, I can use intent. Or when you can pass data from window 1 to window 2, I can use intent. Okay? Any questions? Any questions?
Activities.
Activities. A single window, a single container, layouts. I can format my controls when I can need the first applications. The first thing to do it in your mobile applications, you can add activity. Like ASP.NET or Windows application or mobile applications, when you can add, you want to add controls, you can add form. Okay. The main thing you can add it in mobile applications, or I can talk about activity. It's a single user interface. The layouts. When I add controls, I want to add the first thing activity. Okay. Any questions? This is the architecture of Android architecture. What the Android consists of? Android consists of set of layers. The first layers or the most important layers, it's Linux kernel. What is the Linux kernel? If you want to access any hardware on your mobile applications like Wi-Fi, like Bluetooth, we can use Linux kernel to access anything like display, camera, audio, and the driver. To when to access any driver or hardware component in your mobile, we can use the library. It's Linux kernel. Have many libraries like SQLite, it's library like social network, it's library to when you can deal with social network like Facebook. Have module, it's called Facebook. When can you integrate any web content like HTML files and then split it in your publication? You can use the library for WebKit. Okay. We can has like .NET framework. With Android has Android framework. It has many libraries to create applications like Window Manager or Notification Manager. If you want to create notifications like notification for Instagram or Facebook, you can use library like notification managers. Applications. When you can buy mobile application, new mobile applications, it has already application installed. Like phone, like home, like browser, like contacts, it's already installed in your mobile application and you can use it directly without you can develop applications. It's already found in any mobile application you can or operating system you can buy it. Okay. Android has the advantage of hardware buttons like back buttons. When back buttons, it displays the previous buttons. Home buttons. When I click home buttons again, home screens. Menu, menu display menu of activities. I can make menu for activity or can make public menu on the applications menu. It's control or hardware buttons. How can I access it in Android applications? We will learn Rahman how to get access menu button or any hardware buttons in mobile applications with Android Studio now, and Rahman next lecture we can talk about the administrator to access hardware for Android. Okay, we will talk about how the make application support multiple screens. The Android device operating system have many screens. How to develop mobile application support all screens, 2 inch, 7 inches, 10 inches. How to can support my app to display on multiple screens. What is the height and width? What's the pixels? What's the measurement? I can use it to support for mobile application to support multiple screens. We can Rahman displays this description in the 10 episodes. I can explain what's Android and what's architecture of Android. We can focus only on the 10 episodes, but I can display the concepts of mobile application. Okay, the first thing I want to use it as a native mobile applications, how to create activity and how to move from first activity and second activity. I will use now Android Studio to create first activity and second activity. We agreement the activity. It's like window. I can or container or layouts. I can add my controls like buttons. Like SP or WinForm, that buttons have event listener. When I can add event listener of button line click, it can move the first activity to second activity. Okay, I will now use Android Studio. Okay, not Titanium Studio, but can make first mobile applications for native mobile application, not cross-platform mobile applications. Let's now I can do the first mobile applications for Android Studio. All PCs has Android Studio. All PCs has Android Studio or Titanium Studio only. Titanium Studio. Okay.